Hello and welcome. I'm Wendy Schuckert, editor-in-chief of ITProToday.com and DataCenterKnowledge.com, and I'm coming to you live from the Data Center Knowledge News Desk at Data Center World 2024 here in Washington, D.C. I'm excited today to talk to Anton Chuchkov, who is the product manager for the IT solutions team at Vertiv. He focuses on high-density solutions, and he is responsible for introducing the latest technologies, industry technologies, to the data center market verticals. His past experiences include other areas of product management and applications engineering roles at the chip, board, server, and system level for more than 10 years. Welcome, Anton. Thank you for taking time out of the conference to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you, Wendy. My pleasure.
Now, Anton, I know that this is such a big conference, and you're probably hearing a lot of conversations in the wings and in the sessions and in the expo hall. What have you heard is the biggest challenge for IT managers and data center operators who are trying to add, high density racks to support high performance computing? Like we keep hearing about AI all day.
Yeah.
What are you hearing? What's the scuttlebutt?
Yeah, so, the challenge depends on who you're speaking with, really. You have some IT managers and, users and AI implementers who are very comfortable with the IT equipment at those AI, generative AI and HPC applications. So their main challenge might be simply getting the appropriate amount of power to their facility.
Sure.
Now, on the other side of that, you have people that are maybe just trying to get up to speed with this type of technology, and really their challenge is, where do I go? Where do I even start? I would say, regardless of these two types of extremes, what we're seeing is just simply the challenge of keeping up with the amount of innovation within the HPC and AI IT equipment space. And that's something that we at Vertiv are trying to simplify and catch up those who need to catch up, but also provide another path for those that are already comfortable and just trying to scale up from there.
Our readers are absolutely entranced with any content that we can give them around high performance computing. So I know that the hunger is real.
Yeah.
What should IT leaders consider when reviewing their IT infrastructure to support something as innovative as AI, the various versions of AI that we have coming down the line?
Yeah, so I think firstly, you have to consider what type of IT equipment are you targeting for what type of learning models, inference models, at what scale. I think once you define what type of IT equipment you're going to use, that will drive towards a particular type of solution, whether it be air or liquid or a combination of such. From there, another critical thing to consider is, are you going to plan for today and simply roll out what you have and what you want to have in the near future, or plan for the next generation of IT equipment to come out? And if you plan ahead, it might make it simpler towards the future. And at the end of the day, there is no silver bullet for everyone, and that's why we're trying to basically divide out and provide solutions regardless of these types of considerations that people encounter.
That is really fascinating about the use cases and how that definitely defines the needs. What kinds of questions are your partners asking you about their own particular set of problems that they're trying to solve?
Yeah, I mean, we get quite a lot of questions. Some of them might be, "Can you help us?"
Help! I don't know what to do.
We want to say yes, we definitely can on that. But really, it comes down to, regardless of these different types of personas, whether it's for the future on a single rack or future with a megawatt kind of rollouts, everyone's trying to basically design faster. What's the most optimal way to do this? Which path makes sense? Do I need to change my power infrastructure? A lot of talk about cooling, but there's quite a bit more on the power architecture that we really try to look holistically across our whole portfolio and say, this is how we would suggest and recommend you do this, whether it's a megawatt or literally just a 70 kW rack, and that's it, populated with a few GPU servers.
Excellent. Thank you. In terms of what Vertiv as a company, can you talk to me about what you're prioritizing in terms of solutions for the AI infrastructure for IT?
Yeah, so I think what we are prioritizing comes down to having a nice baseline for everyone to at least review what we have as recommendations for them. And that might include a specific scenario where it's assuming a certain density of a rack and a certain server IT equipment stack up. Prioritizing having this type of portfolio across the liquid to air, liquid to liquid, just simply air, and basically anticipating what people will want, but also trying to be flexible for if there's some flexibility in the design, we anticipate that and can change that design to basically tweak it a little bit, get to exactly what you might want. But having that baseline establishes a good understanding between us and the IT manager of what we would recommend as a starting.
Thinking about all of the case scenarios that you've experienced, either with your customers or out in the field, what is the most unique cooling setup that you have seen that you've been like, that was really appropriate or really great?
Yeah, so something that comes up a few times now, and it is intriguing, and we've looked at a design to do this as well, is combining basically the direct-to-chip liquid-to-liquid cooling.
Oh, sure.
But also having the rear door heat exchanger capture all of the air, essentially, air or heat, whether it's liquid or air, from the rear doors, convert it to liquid, and be able to reuse that heat as well.
Oh.
So, if you can capture as much of the heat from the rack into either a liquid or refrigerant, you can repurpose it and reuse it if your site allows it. But also, in that way, you get some room neutrality. So perhaps maybe a facility that's out there and not as controlled environment as others might be could use something like that. And it's also something that potentially they can run concurrently. So in series, you feed the liquid to the rear door, and then you feed the liquid from the rear door to the direct-to-chip cooling, and then out. So just one loop to do it all. That's probably the most cohesive way that I've seen it, and forward-looking towards the future, and really intriguing.
Does that impact cable management at all?
So there is some ways we can either do cable management and piping.
Okay.
Some people split it between, underfloor, raised floor, plus the overhead, or just feed everything up top. We've started assuming a slab floor for applications, so no raised floor scenario, and essentially just feeding the manifold liquid cooling up top and having busways on a different maybe level or plane above the racks. Again, there's different ways to do this, and we start with what's most acceptable regardless of the scenario, but we can easily choose a different part number of a cooling unit and simply flip it down to the floor, still have the busway by itself on top, not have any interference between the two that way.
Oh, Anton, I could talk to you about the very deeply nerdy specifics about this all day long, but unfortunately we have hit our time limit. So, Anton, thank you so much for joining us here at Data Center Knowledge's news desk today. And if folks want to hear more about these innovative solutions, they can contact you, I'm sure, off of our friends at Vertiv. and learn more about it. I'm Wendy Schuckert signing off from Data Center Knowledge News Desk at Data Center World. Thank you.